And after addressing the United Nations General Assembly on Tuesday, President Lee Jae Myung held bilateral meetings with world leaders at the UN headquarters. Our presidential office correspondent Song Yoo-jin reports from New York.
South Korean President Lee Jae Myung is making the most of the UN General Assembly's high-level week, often described as the world's biggest stage for multilateral diplomacy. President Lee held a series of one-on-ones with world leaders on Tuesday at the UN headquarters. His first meeting was with UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres, their first encounter since the G7 summit in Canada in June. According to the presidential office, Guterres described South Korea as a trusted partner of the UN and pledged his support for the Lee administration's North Korea policy aimed at rebuilding trust and easing military tensions, which the president laid out earlier in his address to the General Assembly.
남북 간 교류 협력을 단계적으로 확대함으로써 한반도에서 지속 가능한 평화의 길을 열어 나가겠습니다. 북미 사이를 비롯한 국제사회와의 관계 정상화 노력도 적극적으로 지지하고 협력하겠습니다.
President Lee in turn called for the UN support, stressing that peace and security on the Korean Peninsula are directly tied to global stability, the very mission of the United Nations. Lee also met with Uzbekistan's President Shavkat Mirziyoyev and Czech President Petr Pavel, where the focus was on strengthening bilateral cooperation. With Pavel, the two leaders highlighted the $18 billion nuclear power plant deal signed in June and agreed to expand their strategic partnership to semiconductors, electric vehicles, and defense. Talks with Mirziyoyev explored ways to elevate South Korea and Uzbekistan's special strategic partnership with a particular focus on mineral resources and transportation infrastructure. Now, more bilateral meetings are lined up for Wednesday, President Lee's last day at the UN General Assembly. The presidential office previously said that President Lee will also be sitting down with the leaders of France, Italy, and Poland. Song Yoo-jin, ArirangNews, New York.